Welcome to another patch from scratch, where I design a synth preset from scratch and explain every step of the way. My name is Max Christensen from Observant Sound, and before we get going, here's a short snippet of what we're going to make today. If this sounds interesting to you, then let's go, stick around, hopefully you'll learn something. What I'd like to do today is to make a bass sequence which could be used for various kinds of underscoring, hybrid cues, tension cues, what have you. So the first step is, of course, new sound. I'm going to pitch my main oscillator down, choose a filter, and I want a low pass filter. It doesn't really matter which kind right now. We can still change that later on. So now I want some movement. I want some rhythmic movement. So I'm not going to choose a normal LFO because that just gets too repetitive. I'm going to choose the performer, drag it onto my cutoff. Right. I want it in 16ths, but maybe not for that tempo. 80 is usually a good film tempo. Okay, so we got that. Now I want some kind of movement in my filter. I'm not sure what yet. So what I like to do in moments like these where I don't really have a concrete idea, I know what direction I want to go. So I'm going to fall back to our trusty random knob. I'm going to push this random knob until I find something that I like, that I can work with, that kind of sparks some new ideas. So for now, I just want to randomize the upper layer, and I want levels and curves to be randomized. Also, what's really nice is once you've chosen an option here, then this little button will remember what it is you chose. So I can just push this one again and have it go through random movements. So let's just listen to a few examples and I'll stop once I find something. Actually, maybe I think I want eighths. Yeah, I think I can work with this. So maybe let's just fine tune this one a little bit. Right, okay, I'm happy with that movement. So the next step could always be, we've used the top performer right now. We still have the lower performer. And so let's maybe put this to 50%. So, oops. So it's applying both lanes equally. And let's just be careful not to push this button again. Let's randomize the lower performer and just see what happens. I already like this in the beginning. Do you notice how this just adds a little bit more movement right here? I like that a lot. Let's fine tune our low performer a little bit. Okay, I think I'm happy with this filter movement. So I didn't have anything specific in mind. It's just hearing what the randomizer gives you and then trying to figure out how you could like improve that? Where do you want certain rhythmic elements to happen? And just try it out. Just experiment, see what happens. Okay, what next? What can we do next? I think next I would like fine tune the filter, see if that's actually what I want. And you know, just for simplicity's sake, let's already populate these with our macros, because I'll probably, most likely I'll have macros on the filters for finished patches anyway. And then let's have another macro for sidechaining our filter movement. And now since we have this macro, I can pull this up all the way, because now I'm controlling the amount of modulation with this macro. See, it's at 0, so it's not doing anything. It's not letting any of this modulation pass through. Probably won't need the vibrato. Okay, let's try some different filter types. Okay, now I have the issue that I can't really decide between two filters. I like the daft filter for this, and I like the scream filter, but the low pass is also nice. And what I'm listening for is, I would say, mostly I think the resonance shape of how it shapes the filter and the cutoff point, because you'll notice the low pass, for example. By the way, let me label these. Reso, tone. It's pretty much only for the scream filter and filter. Like this low pass filter, it has a nice low end. It accentuates the area around the cutoff point quite nicely, but it also accentuates overtones quite audible. So with this low pass filter, if you pull up the resonance quite high, you will start to hear the filter movement in pitch quite audibly. Now this daft filter, for example, it also sings in a way, so the resonance point, it sings along with the filter movement, but in a different way. So you can clearly hear that the low end is quite different. I would say this one isn't as sharp, so there are more higher frequencies coming through. Now the scream filter, of course, is always a classic and massive. It always sounds great, and it has a feedback circuit built into it. Well, not a circuit, but you know, a path. Yeah, it always brings some nastiness to any patch. But I feel like it's sacrificing some low end for that, for the added crunchiness in the low mids. So what we could do, what I always like to do, is in this case, we could either run our filters parallel and have two different sounds running at the same time, or we'll try them serial and see what that sounds like. So let's just try both methods. Yeah, let's maybe even do this. So we have one oscillator dedicated for each filter. We can always change this later. Okay, don't like that so much. it feels like one filter is swallowing the other one up, and they don't really coexist that well. But it's okay. Let's just keep trying. What happens if we put both oscillators in both filters? Not quite. Yep, okay, for this patch I'm gonna have this restart by gate on, which just means that all oscillators have their phases synced, which sometimes sounds nice, sometimes doesn't sound as nice. It kind of depends on what kind of sound you're going for. In this case, I do want a clean low end. I don't want anything rumbling or moving or whatever, so having the phases synced is probably a good idea for this case. Okay, let's try the serial method then. The benefit of doing it this way is we can kind of go a little bit more crazy with our first filter. And we'll always have, in a way, a tone control at the end. You can kind of see it like, I guess, an overdrive circuit. So we have our, this is our gain, and this is our tone control, which is in most cases a low pass filter. And then of course you have gain here, which we don't need right now. But that's not really what I'm going for with this patch. I want something more subtle. So what if we do it the other way around? I don't know, this is still a bit too honky for me. Maybe let's try changing our source. Maybe we'll get a better result. And I'm going to, where is it? Oh, it's here. I'm going to randomize myself through because like I don't feel like going through all of these. I want to change the parameters and the type select. I want to keep pitch, and feel free to go nuts. Ooh, interesting. Very interesting. Oh. Cool. So, see, yeah, I was surprised right there. That's awesome. So, I know I like this. What would it sound like if this had some movement? Not bad, but it leaves a few holes. Like in all these gaps where the filter is low. Then there's kind of nothing. So maybe it will be cool if this had some counter movement. Nah, not really. Okay, was worth a try. Wow, this random thing hit the note perfectly. Nah, but it doesn't track with pitch. Wait, does this work? Let me try something. Okay. Okay, let's keep trying then. Do I want to... Nah, let's just see what happens. Yeah, that's nice. See, I would have probably never found this combination of knobs and types and whatever. That's cool. Oh. Oh, I must have hit randomize all. Yeah, I didn't want it to change my filter type. I might need to save this as a separate sound and finish this some other time because this is cool. I don't want to lose this. Right, okay, let's go back to our scream filter. I turned effects on too. I did not. Whoops. It was not my intention. Sounded cool though. We'll get to reverb. Yeah, okay, this is cool. Let's go with this one. I like this color that this oscillator is bringing, but it's a bit too constant. It's overpowering everything else. So I'm gonna put the same movement on here as well. And you know, we can macro this if we like. Just like a little thing. Right, okay. What about adding another octave? Yeah, sure, why not? Let's just take a normal sine wave. Oh, never mind. Maybe not. Okay. So let's go back to our filters maybe now. Maybe now we can have a different kind of sound. Yep, you hear that? Off. On. It just really brings out the low end in a really nice way, and we still hear the movement from the filter above. Actually, I just had another idea. What if I... That's cool too. Like, because now I have contrasting rhythms going on. I have this one still keeping strong. But because the filter needs to go through this one in 100%, like, I'm not doing anything like this where it's 80, 90%, but no, 100%. And I'm only listening to filter 2. So all of the signal will pass through here. And if I have a different kind of movement going on, then this LFO shape will be superimposed on what is going on here. Which I think sounds pretty rad. Let's try some different shapes. Oh, another trick we can do is, I don't have any other plans for this LFO. You can take the most narrow shape and the most wide shape. In this, I would even say this is exponential, this is logarithmic, but don't quote me on that. Could be. Because now we can crossfade between the two. Nope, this one's good. Nope, don't need this one. Okay, I want to sidechain this one. Click on little SC, click the arrow. Okay. So I would say that's like the basis of the patch done in a way. You could already use this in however you like. But now is always, I still have some macros free. So now is always a good time to try and see how we can fatten it up or make it more interesting or bring some chaos in or whatever. And feedback's always a great place to start. Okay, not that interesting yet. Could still change. Ooh, that's cool too. Yep, definitely want this as a macro. Nah. Nope. That's nice too. Again, brings in more movement, changes slowly over time, and just makes it a little less repetitive. And also spreads it around in the stereo space nicely. Yep. Just gonna take these settings as they are. Yeah, don't need 100% wet on this. Okay, so 50%, that's just fine. Chorus, verb. And now let's maybe try seeing what happens if we increase the voices. Yeah, now hear this? This is happening because we have our phases synced. So they're all starting from the same spot. And if we now go and say, okay, we have 3 voices and they're all detuned just a tiny bit, then you will have very strong phasing. So if I wanted something like that, a more detuned sound, I would probably turn this off. It's always good to just check. We never know. It may sound good. in this case, I don't feel like it's adding much. So let's just keep it at one voice and also keep the CPU down. What else can we do? Let's oh, I forgot. I still want to be able to open the post filter fully. So this is quite cool, I think. But now I have the problem. I don't want it to be there all the time. And I don't want to sacrifice a macro to be able to fade this in and out. So instead, what we can do is we have these one as well. And I'm going to use our filter, our velocity modulation. So like velocity isn't doing anything right now. It's not affecting our amplitude. It's not affecting glide speed or portamento or anything. So we can use it for pretty much anything we like. And I'm going to use it for the volume of our noise module. So soft and hard. Right? Cool. Right, okay. I did some tweaking off camera, just trying out different things, seeing if there's still something I want to change, but I didn't really find much. So I changed the small reverb into a delay, and I'm letting a little bit of the first filter bleed through our output, just because it sounds good. That's pretty much the only reason. Just try it. If it's nice, good, keep it. But besides from that, I think I'm pretty much done with this patch. There isn't anything else I would change inside this synth. You can still EQ it and do lots of things with it. But I think this patch has kind of become what it's want to be. So that's the end of this video. If you've watched this far, then thank you. I hope you learned something in the process and this was helpful to you. If you'd like to get the sound, you can download it at this link in the description. And if you'd like to see more, or even if you want to support me, then please hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, smash that like and all that jazz. You know, we all heard it 1,000 times, but it does help. If you have any questions or if there's something specific you'd like to see, write me a comment below. I'll do my best to reply to as many as I can. So that's all from me for today. I'm out. See you next time.